everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Claire, and I am in a romance rut in every possible way you can conceive. Summer is the time for reading romances and that make you feel both a little bit better and a little bit bad about yourself. I haven't read any yet this summer, and I think now is the time. I'm in a romance reading rut, I'm in a romance life rut, and I think I need to fix at least one of those things that's in my control, which is the reading rut. I have a TBR of 3 romances that I'm going to be delving into in this video, this reading vlog. Hopefully they can do something for me. Hopefully they can lift my spirits and give me some hope, remind me that love is real even when it's fictional. I have one audiobook I'm going to be listening to and hard copies of 2 books that I'm going to be reading. So I'm going to be starting off with The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. I'm going to be listening to that one on audio, and hopefully I can fly through it. Usually her books are really easy to get into and to get hooked on, so I'm really excited for that one. And then my other 2 books that I'll be reading for the TBR include Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez and Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. My 4 auto read authors of romances are the 3 authors that are featured today and Emily Henry, but I already read The Great BBL this year, so couldn't really include her, but I also didn't love it, so it's fine that I didn't have to. But hopefully, because these are a bunch of auto read authors, hopefully they can do something for me and restore my faith in love. It's a really, really low stakes video today, guys. So it only has to restore my faith in love. That's all it's got to do. Let's just get started and see what Catherine Center can do to start us off. Hey guys, you can probably tell by the way that I look. You can probably smell the sunscreen through the screen, but I was listening to the Rom-Commers, and I am now, wait, let me see how far I am. I'm now 83% of the way through the audiobook. Last you saw me, I was I think at 60 something, but it's so good. I forgot how much I like Catherine Center's books, and I know I've mentioned in a bit of a romance rut lately. Just kind of burnt out because they all feel the same, and so I haven't been reading many recently. This one I really like. I think Catherine Center really does a great job of developing the relationship between characters, and there's no insta love at all. And I mean, of course there's the tension and the miscommunications, which I don't love, but part of it is just reality. That's actually how things go sometimes, and I feel like in this case she's doing a really realistic job of the miscommunication. It's realistic. It's not just a plot device, in my opinion, because I'm out of breath because I just biked all the way home and then climbed 5 flights of stairs and started filming immediately. So sorry for my breath control, but I'm really liking it. I was literally sitting at the beach. My friend I was with, Alexandra, she was saying that I looked like I was locked in, because I was sitting on my little camping chair that I use as a beach chair, gripping the sides, staring out into the distance, just locked in. AirPods in, Rom-Commers on, and I just want to listen to it for the rest of the day. I'm gonna go hop in the shower, wash off all the sand and sunblock, and keep listening to it. I don't also usually love romances that have a kind of health aspect where people are caretakers. It's not one of my favorite tropes, but I mean, it's real. It's just hard to read sometimes, but for some reason it's not bothering me. And I don't know if I'm just primed, I'm in the mood for a romance because I haven't been reading them for a while, and so anything, I'm just kind of yeah, okay, anything that's generally well written, I'm yeah, okay, slay, cool, great. So we'll see if I feel the same way about the other 2 in this video, but right now the Rom-Commers is kind of hitting. So we'll see if I still feel that way by the end, but I've got a few hours left of the audiobook, but I'm on 2.5 times speed. Probably gonna listen to it while I'm in the shower, and then just forever until I'm done, and then I'll get back to you on my thoughts. All right, guys, I showered, I finished the book, and I'm rating it 5 stars. That's crazy. It's one of those things where I can't tell if I just really enjoyed it because I haven't read a romance in a while, and then I just liked it, and I was like, wow, I forgot how good romances can be, kind of thing. But I really can't think of something that I disliked about it. I always have a hard time rating romances because they're very rarely surprising, and usually they're happy endings to be considered romances, and that's kind of a standard of the genre. And I like that about it, and I enjoy that about it, and that's why I picked them up. Everybody loves to enjoy a good happy ending sometimes, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that or with enjoying the romance genre, as I do. But sometimes I have in my mind, like, yeah, they're enjoyable, they're fun, they're lighthearted, they can be lighthearted, they're cute, they're romantic, but because there's such a strong formula to romance books as a genre, it's hard to come by the 5-star reads for me. That I don't know, it's stupid where I'm like, okay, well, like literary fiction, I feel like it's easier to tell when something's 5-star, if it's really struck me, if it's really, the language is particularly beautiful, and obviously that stands for romances too, but because the genre has kind of, I don't even want to say it watered itself down, but sometimes it kind of feels like it did. It's a little oversaturated right now, and so it is a bit harder to find the ones that are genuinely good and genuinely have an impact on you. And this one kind of did. It did, okay? It did. And I'm really happy about it. I'm happy that I enjoyed it. I'm rating it 5 stars because I can't think of something I didn't like. And even in my head, I was trying to rationalize. I was like, oh, it can't be 5 stars. It's gotta... I just touched something gross in the sink. It's probably water. Anyway, I was always looking forward to reading it. I liked the characters. I liked the development of the plot and the way that caretaking kind of came around full circle to be the reason for everything. All along, the whole story is just kind of this difficulty with caretaking and the fact of how that feels for the caretaker and the person who needs the care, and how health issues and love go hand in hand, sickness and health. I feel like most romance books focus on one of the vows in a traditional wedding vow, at least in Christian culture. Whether they know that or not, I always end up being able to pinpoint which vow they're focusing on. This one was sickness and health. Maybe now that'll be one of my review standards. I'll be like, oh, well, this one is this wedding vow. The characters just felt real. Their reactions felt genuine. Even when you kind of wanted to bash them up the head, you're like, you're stupid. Like, maybe that's my one critique. Well, I guess she had her sister, but the main character, I'm like, you need a quirky best friend to be texting about this stuff. But she was going through all of it alone for the most part, which made her reactions make more sense. Her reactions made sense since they weren't peer reviewed. If they had been peer reviewed, none of those would have happened. Like, to be fair, like, none of this would have happened. And so the fact that she was alone, I was like, yeah. If I was just left to my own devices to make decisions on my own, y'all would not want to even know what would happen. Or I would just probably be humiliated all the time. As for the ending, I loved the last scenes. The ending when she has to go back to California. The third act conflict, which is just kind of a term I'm tired of hearing, I actually kind of loved because it just made everything make sense. And that's how I feel like I know something's a 5-star romance, is if the third act conflict doesn't piss me off, because they always do. There is not a third act conflict that I've encountered in years that I'm not like pissed off about, like genuinely plain and simple pissed off. And this one, I was like, no, I like it. Sorry, sue me, lock me up, 5 stars. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the rom-commers. I loved the whole writing the movie together trope. I loved the coworkers. So here's some of the tropes that it has. Coworkers, kind of. Forced proximity. And also, some people were saying it was enemies to lovers. No, it wasn't. No, it was not. It was like acquaintances. It was like a we just met, I have to warm up to you kind of thing, which is normal, which, to be clear, is not enemies to lovers. It needs to stop being advertised that way because that's not what it is. Anyway, it's also very self-aware, and sometimes she kind of breaks, the narrator, Emma, breaks the fourth wall a little bit, where she's like, oh, but I'm not going to tell you that now. Or I'm like, this is important, I'll tell you this later. And I'm like, oh, period, okay. So I kind of like that. It was kind of inconsistent in the way that it was randomly thrown in there, but I kind of didn't hate it. It just felt more fun, more light, especially because there were some like more serious themes. I felt like it kind of balanced it out. I just really enjoyed it, you guys. Okay, whatever. Okay, it's 5 stars. I wasn't expecting to start out the video with a 5-star read, but here we are. Okay. And I'm not even mad about it. Stop saying that I'm mad about it. I'm not. I'm really, really happy about it. Hey guys, it's like 7:30 in the morning and I want to go back to sleep, but I'm gonna go catch a bus to go see one of my lovely friends. So it is going to be a great day. I'm very excited about it. I'm also very excited to sleep on the bus. I'm in the mood today to start a new book. Should I do this because I'm in the middle of 700 million others? No. But I'm going to because I'm hoping that if I can stay awake on the bus that I will do some reading and I'll feel inclined to read this book in particular because I read like kind of the first chapter yesterday and I was flying through it. And that is Say You'll Remember Me by Ali Jimenez. So that'll be book number 2 in this little reading vlog for my summer romance. I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard that people are like, Abby, slow down, girl. Like, thinking she's focusing on quantity over quality of novel. I'm really curious to see how I feel about it because I generally really like her books, but there are a few that have been kind of misses for me, so I'm really curious to see which camp this one will be in. I hope it'll be a win. I don't really know what it's about, and I'm kind of going into it blind on purpose. So I'm not going to give you a synopsis right now, but I'm going to try and update you as I go. So cut to me reading on the bus, hopefully. Also, please say a prayer that the bus isn't freezing because the bus is always freezing and I'm on there for 2 hours and that's a challenge for me. Hey y'all, I'm done for the day. It's been a very eventful day. I saw my friend. Everything went really well. It was so good to see her and her family and we had a great time, albeit a bit of a short time. I wish I could have spent more time with her, but I'm grateful I got to see her at all. That was such a special little short, it was pretty short notice plan. So it was really nice to get to spend some time with her. And on the way there, I did read on the bus, as you saw. I got a few chapters in to Say You'll Remember Me, and then I took a nap. And I'm glad I did. And then we spent the day in Edinburgh, and then I came home and I went to the beach. And so I'm still wearing my beach gear, my Wawa Hoagie Fest shirt that my mommy got for me from a Facebook Buy Nothing group. Somebody was giving it away and she thought of me and she bought them for me for free, claimed them for me, and I couldn't be more grateful. I love it. Look at it. Wawa Hoagie Fest. It does have the worst back of a t-shirt you've literally ever seen. So yeah, it's pretty horrendous. Perfect beach tee. It makes me feel like I'm at the Jersey Shore. I do know a little bit about this book now that I've started it. I'm currently on page 90. I'm hoping to now do a quick little workout. I've been on that Monica Fit morning workout grind. So I'm hoping to do a 10-minute quick workout and then shower and wash all the sand off of me finally, and then hop into bed and read a little bit more before my like 9-hour shift tomorrow. I feel like I'm just far enough to be able to give a synopsis of the premise without spoiling. The 2 main characters that you see on the cover are Samantha and Xavier. Xavier is a veterinarian. Samantha works for a mustard company. She finds this cat and it doesn't have a butthole, so takes it to the vet. He's a vet and he was kind of mean to her and short and a little bit rude. And then, long story short, 90-page story short, she ends up going back after the cat had butthole surgery. I can't make this up. And then he asks her out on a date and they go on like the best date of their lives. And I have read the back of the book now, so none of this is a spoiler. This all is pretty much the premise that's listed on the back of the book. But he asked her out on a date. She says yes. He takes her to this like veterinary dinner cruise thing. And then they go out to mini golf. All his friends are there. And they have the best night of their lives. They get locked in an escape room. Like they escape, but they couldn't like escape, you know? And then she almost misses a flight because her mom has dementia at home. And so she's going home to care for her mom, help the rest of her family take care of her mom. She didn't mention to him that she was like moving from Minnesota to California. She just said, oh yeah, I have a flight tomorrow. Babe, you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific. And to be fair, there is a point where she was like, well, I don't know, I just thought it would be another like, you know, fine date with a nice guy, I guess, who like I don't feel spark with. Like she's like, that's what I was expecting. It's just like another average first date. Which like, fair enough. She's like, I didn't expect to like him. And so then she goes to California. And that's kind of where I left off. And that's the premise is now they're trying to overcome their distance. And there was one date, they didn't even kiss. Did they go after each other? Do they keep in contact? I'm locked in. I'm staying tuned to find out. I have a few gripes. One, pop culture references. Sometimes they're relevant. Most of the time, they just date a book immediately. I hate pop culture references in books, even like romances, and this one was bad. This one was bad, where everyone apparently like in the office was trying to, like, multiple characters on different occasions not in cahoots with each other, don't even know each other necessarily, like Samantha and then two of Xavier's coworkers were all trying to describe who he is, like what he's like or what he looks like, and all of them said, oh, he looks like Rhysand from ACOTAR. It literally says ACOTAR, like not A Court of Thorns and Roses, like ACOTAR, the acronym, like referencing TikTok. And it was just like, it was really cringy to me. I hate pop culture references like that, but there's something about TikTok references that are just ultra cringy to me because everything moves so fast in TikTok land that none of these references will really be relevant. So that's a tiny pet peeve where like it's not gonna dock a star rating, but it did kind of make me cringe a bit. And then the other thing is, I just never understand why all of the protagonists, mainly the women, usually just the woman, like the female love interest, have the weirdest jobs that like don't really exist. Like it sounds like she spun a wheel that was like, okay, name an object, and then she threw a dart and it landed on, like, I don't know how she comes up with these random ass job titles that these people have. I remember one of her books is like, she makes stairs for dogs. And she owns a house and lives alone? Are we sure? And so this one at least makes a little bit more sense. Like, this is fair enough that it's like, okay, she's like the social media manager. She does something, like, this is actually a real job. But it's like, why is it a mustard company? Like, you're just trying to make these people cringy. Like, in trying to make them quirky, you're making them a tiny bit unlikable. And all of these jobs make somebody unlikable, but it's just the fact that she always picks these weird ass jobs that I'm like, why? What is the reason? What was the reason? Why can't they just be, like, he has a normal job, he's a vet. I feel like in previous books, there's like, he was a firefighter or a lumberjack or like owns a hotel where I'm like, okay, these are like unique. Some of those are more unique jobs, but they're still like kind of normal. I don't know. She always has weird jobs for the women in her books, and I'm starting to get a little tired of that. Hopefully there aren't many more pop culture references that could bother me. But I am locked into the relationship, and I do love how they are interacting. Another thing that irks me, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just being dramatic and naming all of my bookish pet peeves. Can we please stop naming books after song titles? I saw somebody else say this and say like specifically Taylor Swift titles. No, I don't care. I don't think it's about Taylor Swift. We don't need to name books after song titles. And this is kind of diabolical, actually. Her mom has dementia. She's going back to California because her mom doesn't remember who she is. Bruh. And of course there's a double meaning of the, we had one date, remember me, no, don't forget. Diabolical. And everybody's singing Wildest Dreams in their head. You don't need to be doing that. I don't know. And I love Taylor Swift. Like, it kind of cheapens the title of the book to me. Like, it's not like a draw. It's like I already come in with preconceived notions of what it's going to be because I'm thinking of a song. Now, I'm kind of mad. But I'm going to keep reading. I really am enjoying it, and I always fly through these books. And maybe I am really in a romance kind of mood because I've just kind of been wanting to read it all day. But anyway, I'm excited to keep reading it, and I'll let you know my thoughts in the morning. Okay, bye. Guys, I was literally just about to film a clip to talk about the Abby Jimenez book I'm reading, but I went on Goodreads to update my Goodreads about the Abby Jimenez book I was reading, and I got a notification. I went to clear it, and it was like, oh, a bunch of people liked my three people liked my review of the rom-commers, and I looked at it, and it said one of them is Catherine Center. Catherine Center, the author of the book, liked my review of her book for proof. So I just left as my review a quote that I loved from the epilogue, admittedly, but look at the 3 likes. Catherine! And then it's literally Catherine Center. Like, that's so awesome. And like, see, you can totally see that I've loved her books. So this is so funny and awesome. And I don't know how she found that. Maybe she was just looking at reviews of her books, or maybe she likes all of the 5-star reviews of her book, but I'm not mad about it because it was a positive review. I'm glad she saw that. I hope she felt good about it because that was a great book. Hey guys, I didn't end up filming that clip. I lied to you. It's the next day. Today, I did not have the best day ever, unfortunately. So I'm here with my ice cream that I finished and surrounded by books that I want to read. I do want to talk about Say You'll Remember Me, but I also wanted to just do a little mini haul because yesterday I went to Edinburgh again for a little writing date with one of my friends who lives there. We ended up writing in Waterstone. I wrote 1,500 words in my book, which was more than I've written in a day in like a while because I've been a little bit unmotivated, but I felt really productive and I had cash and I found a copy of a book that I've been wanting to buy for a while. It was only one copy and it was a bit damaged, and so I was able to get it on sale, like a pound off, and I had the 5% discount because I'm a student and Waterstone's member. So little mini haul. I got the India Holton Ornithologist's Guide to Love. I'm not usually a like romantic-y kind of person, but I was so endeared by Books and Lala's review of it that I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna give it a shot. And I read the other reviews and I read the synopsis and I was like, wait, yeah, this actually does sound kind of up my alley. So I want to give it a try. It looks really cute. I could use something a little bit fantastical and a little bit funny because, like I said, I didn't have the best day. So I won't be reading it in this vlog, but I'm happy to have it now so I can read it so soon. Back to Say You'll Remember Me. I did finish it in record time. I think I read like literally half of it on the bus to and from Edinburgh. Like I literally read most of it yesterday. And I did really like it. The pop culture references did get worse. And there were times when I was really, really annoyed by it. So it actually did start to affect my enjoyment of the book. This is one of those romances that's not, I don't know how to say it, where it wasn't insta love, I wouldn't say, but it was just love at first sight. Like it was a story of love at first sight, and personally, I consider that to be different than an insta love story. Where this, it was like both characters were recognized like, this is weird. This is weird. Why do I feel so attached to this person immediately? And so usually that can be like a red flag, but it also doesn't necessarily have to be. And in this case, it was not. And it did actually kind of work in the story for me. So if you also think there's a difference, this is a love at first sight story. It also is very clean for a romance, an adult romance, which I kind of appreciated. I wasn't really interested in reading a bunch of sex scenes or anything. So it was quite refreshing to have a book that was just genuinely a romance. And it actually was kind of emotionally draining because of all the issues that the characters were going through and dealing with. There was a lot of like financial strain, and there was talk of, particularly in long distance relationships, and the effort to see each other when you're in a long distance relationship and how expensive that can be. I just thought that was very real, and I appreciated the fact that it felt so, like, I as the reader felt overwhelmed and exhausted and drained, and I was like, is this, even for them, I was like, is this worth it, you guys? Like, is this worth it? That, I think, was very effective in the way that Abby Jimenez was making the reader feel the way the characters were feeling. The ending felt very quick to me. I think that I wished I had some more development into the last chapter. Like, I mean, there was the epilogue within the last chapter. I wouldn't even say rushed, because like it wasn't, but I just wish there was, maybe it was a little bit rushed. I wish we had a little bit more leading up to it to kind of ease us into it and really let us sit in that moment before jumping forward to the epilogue. I'm generally an epilogue hater. I'd much rather have a prologue and epilogue hater. I'd much rather have just one well-developed wedge than have you skimp out on the ending, but then just jump forward to show us how it all ended. No, I want to know how it ended in that moment. Like, I want to see the transition. I want to see the like growing pains. Like, I want to see. And I feel like epilogues of romance books are all the same. It's either an engagement, or they are married, or they have a kid. It's like one of those three things that epilogues are. And so I'm like, why do we even need that? Like, we can kind of assume they're gonna live happily ever after. Overall, I did really enjoy it. I would give it 4 stars. There were some things that bothered me, like the pop culture references and some of the pacing sometimes, but I did really enjoy the fact that it was clean. I don't think there was a single sex scene. There was like allusions to the fact that they had a physical relationship. It was not. It was really, really refreshing. So if you're looking for a romance that's very sweet but also emotional and not super explicit, this is a great one for you. Because I had kind of a rough day and I'm not in the best mood and I'm kind of bummed out, I'm gonna start my next one. The third read for this book is Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I think this is kind of like the funniest title, or I guess design of the title, with like the problematic check, summer check, romance? I think that's so funny. The question mark by romance is like actually hilarious to me. So this one is, again, I don't really know what it's about. So I'm just gonna go into it kind of blind. Hopefully it'll cheer me up a little bit this evening. Or hopefully it's another book I can just fly through, because I'm kind of feeling like in a deflated, defeated rut romance in my own life where like I just don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to engage with it. I'm tired of being surrounded by it. So obviously, for some reason, let's read a bunch of romances, right? Like, how could that make me feel worse? But then like it doesn't. Like, so I don't know why it's not. Like, it really should be, based on what I literally just said. But we're just gonna go with it, and if it's bringing me some joy or some hope, then we're just gonna let it. You know, I think this would be my second or third Ali Hazelwood for the year. I think third, because I did Two Can Play and Deep End. So this will be my third one for the year, but the only one I own in a hard copy since I stopped buying with Book of the Month because I was traveling. We're gonna jump into it. I'll update you tomorrow. Hopefully this makes me feel a little bit better. And hopefully it just doesn't make me feel worse. I am on chapter 11 of Problematic Summer Romance, and it's really annoying me. I didn't really realize that it is kind of a companion novel to Not in Love, which is the Ali Hazelwood book that I liked the least, and I rated 2 stars. I think it actually has the lowest rating of her novels on Goodreads. So I didn't like that one. I forgot all about it. I was trying to read the synopsis and my review to jog my memory of who any of these people are, and it didn't work. I don't remember because I didn't care then, and I don't really care now. This one is probably not gonna be a win for me just because everybody's annoying. There's so many characters. I feel like there's only that many because you're supposed to already know who a bunch of them are, and I don't remember them, so I'm just confused, and they're all related to each other somehow. I feel like I need to make one of those boards with like strings connecting everybody just to be able to keep the story straight, because I don't remember who's related to who and who's dated and who are exes and who was together and who's kid. Like, I'm just very lost. But I did kind of figure out what it's about, I guess. It's about Maya Kilgore, who is the younger sister of Eli Kilgore, who is the main male love interest in Not in Love. They're in Sicily for her brother's wedding to Rue, who is the female main character love interest in Not in Love. So this is their wedding, and it's focusing on the younger sister and her kind of weird tie to her older brother's best friend, who was also there for her during a really difficult time. Also, they're orphans, by the way. Both of their parents are dead. So her brother kind of raised her, and then the friend kind of stepped in to help. It is an age gap romance. She's 23, he's like 30 something. I didn't really know that going in. I don't really like age gap romances. I think it's icky. Obviously it's like legal, but because he had known her for like her whole life, it's weird. I think it's already weird, and I don't like where it's going really. So I think there will be a bunch of scenes that I'm skipping. Probably. So that's kind of where I am. It's like an age gap, forced proximity, weird energy, and I don't really know if I like where it's going. The writing is annoying me. I kind of am like, I feel like I'm almost skimming it, which just might contribute to my lack of comprehension of some of the scenes where I'm just like, what is happening? Because I don't really feel like reading it, and so I'm just glazing over everything and missing details and connections and not remembering who's who and how they know each other. So I don't think this is gonna be a favorite. It's feeling like a 2 or 3 star, if I'm being honest, which would be on par with my rating of Not in Love, which was a 2 star. I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading. We'll see. Sorry for that really crappy synopsis. Hopefully I'll have more for you soon. Hopefully I'll be finished this soon, and then I won't ever have to think about it again. And hopefully there won't be a third that I have to read. Well, I don't have to read anything, but I will read it, knowing myself. I'm so close to DNFing this book, but I don't have much left. I just like don't want to read it. I'm debating just skimming it. I'm not into it. I don't know. It's, I would say, one of Ali Hazelwood's worst books. Do I just DNF it? I'm not enjoying this. I have so little left. I paid money for this book. When I get most of them from the library these days, I went out of my way to get it, and I'm just not enjoying it, and I don't want it. It's time to call it quits. It's just bad. I don't care. The characters are annoying. It's not It's an age gap romance, which I don't like already, and I don't want it to get spicy because it hasn't really been so far, but I don't want it. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I don't want to read that. Okay, guys. Yes, my hair is wet. Yes, I just washed. And yes, I let my hair air dry. What about it? That brings us to the end of our summer romance vlog. It is now October. That, I think, is more of a testament to how bad the last book was, that it took me about 4 months to read, and I couldn't even bring myself to finish it. Let's just think about that for a moment. So, quick recap. First book was, oh my gosh, what is it called? By Catherine Senner. The Rom-Commers. Thank God. Yeah, The Rom-Commers by Catherine Senner. Mwah. Beautiful. Beautiful. It made me tear up. Beautiful. Writing is beautiful. I love Catherine Senner. I will read every book that she writes. 5 stars. Beautiful book. Can't recommend it enough. It is a little bit heavy, I feel like, if you are a caretaker or have that kind of in your journey. And then next we had Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, another one of my absolute favorite authors, which I've said by now. But this was not my absolute favorite from her. I think I mentioned the pop culture references literally brought it from a 5-star to a 4-star for me, because it was just impossible to overlook how constant they were and also how infuriating they were and kind of just how bad they were. This is the kind of book where the story itself is rather timeless, but because of the way it was written and the culture references that were included, it immediately dated itself and already feels old, just like cringe. Even looking back on it, like I was like, oh, that was like a 5, right? And then I looked back at my review and I was like, oh, no, yeah, it was a 4 because I forgot about the pop culture references because I just remembered the beautiful story, which also is kind of about caretaking. I don't know if I mentioned it. There's caretaking elements in both of these first 2 books. I don't know what vow I would assign this one. This one doesn't get a vow. This one's a divorce. It's bad. It's bad. It was unnecessary. It's a companion to Not in Love. I don't care. All of the characters were annoying. It just felt really icky. It wasn't well written. It wasn't romantic at all. I stopped reading it at like 80-something% because I was like, I don't want to get to any spice in it. I don't think those characters should be doing anything of that nature, and I didn't want to read about it. I didn't even want to think about it. Definitely problematic. Definitely summer, I guess. I agree with the cover that the romance is questionable. It is questionable. I would say it's, give that one a big ol' X because I gave this 1 star. I couldn't do it. I do like Ali Hazelwood's books. This is just not it. It was unnecessary. That's why this video took so freaking long, is because I literally couldn't push myself through that book. I don't have much left, and her books do fly by. There's something about these romances that you just can they're so fast paced and the pages turn themselves. And Ali Hazelwood is usually like that. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm not going to stop reading Ali Hazelwood. Maybe I will be more discerning about which ones I pick up. To give it an honest review or an honest rating, I do feel like I owe it to myself and the author and the book to actually read the whole thing. I also don't care. I don't care enough right now to finish it, and I'm not doing it to myself. And this is a radical act of self-love. It is kind of a bummer to finish the video on, especially after it started out so strong and then slowly kind of went, it was like maybe here and then, Stay tuned next summer. Next summer, I guess we'll have a whole new slew of romances. Sorry this video is ending on such a bummer, and also it's not summer anymore. So also sorry about that, because this video was supposed to be out in August, but I literally couldn't bring myself to read that stupid book. And I didn't want to DNF it, but now I'm just calling it quit. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for another video soon, hopefully with no DNFs in it, but no promises. Have the best day. God bless.